A car crash put Eleanor Hayes into a coma for 3 years. When she finally woke up, everyone said she'd changed. The Ella who used to cling to Ethan Vance day and night could go days without reaching out. When she heard he was sick in the hospital, she just had someone send over homemade chicken soup. She didn't ask why he came home late. She didn't care about the rumors that he had another woman. Until that night at the Azure Lounge, watching male dancers grind on stage, her best friend texted her a photo. In a glittering ballroom, Ethan stood at the door with a woman on his arm, holding a baby, greeting guests. Above them, an electronic banner read, "Congratulations to Ethan Vance on the birth of his son. Wishing your family happiness and health." Summer leaned in, grinning. "You keep saying you don't care about Ethan anymore." I didn't believe it. Now he even has a child with that look-alike. You still don't care? Ella casually slipped a few bills into the male dancer's waistband before rising from the couch without hesitation. Of course I care. My husband just had a son. As his official spouse, I should make an appearance. When Ella walked into the hall with Summer right behind her, the noise died. Everyone went quiet. They were bracing for the explosion. Everyone knew Ella's temper. As the Hayes family's pampered heiress, she was fiery, stubborn, and never let anything slide. If something pissed her off, she'd make sure the whole city knew. Ethan frowned the moment he saw her. "Ella, are you following me? I thought you didn't care. Why'd you show up?" "I told you, Fiona and I." "I know. I was in a coma for 3 years. You fell for my look-alike, Fiona Walsh, and had a kid with her." Ella cut him off, a faint smile on her lips. "You wanted her to get rid of it." She ran from the hospital, had the baby in secret. Once the kid was born, you couldn't just abandon him, so you threw this christening reception. "I know everything." Her voice was calm. No anger. No hurt. But Fiona was trembling. She dropped to her knees in front of Ella, clutching her baby. "I'm so sorry, Mrs. Vance. I never meant to hurt you. I just couldn't end a life. My faith, I couldn't do it. Please forgive me." Ella ignored her. She reached out and touched the baby's cheek. But before her fingers landed, Ethan grabbed her arm and yanked her back. "What are you doing?" "That's my son. He's innocent. If you have a problem, take it up with me." Harold and Margaret Vance chimed in. "Ella, it was an accident. How are we supposed to know when you'd wake up? The Vance family needs an heir. The baby doesn't change your status. You'll always be Mrs. Vance." Ella laughed. "Look at all of you. Why so tense? Did I say I was going to hurt him?" She pulled a thick envelope with cash and a custom-made gold bracelet from her bag and tucked them into the baby's blanket. "Be good, sweetheart. Grow up healthy and happy." Everyone froze. Ethan furrowed his brow. "You're not mad?" "Nope." Ella smiled. "Miss Walsh gave the Vance family a child. That's a good thing. Why would I be mad? Anyway, don't let me ruin the party. Carry on." She turned and walked out of the hall. Late spring. The night wind was still cold. Ella moved fast. Summer Night, in her 8-inch heels, had to jog to catch up. She slid into the Rolls Royce right behind Ella. The first thing she did was press her hand to Ella's forehead. "The temperature's normal. You're not running a fever." "Ella, what's going on with you? That car crash turned you into a different person. Your husband had a child with another woman. How can you not react at all? That's Ethan. The man you've loved for 10 years. The old you would have slapped her across the face." Ella pushed her hand away and smiled. "You said it yourself. That was the old me. The old Ella Hayes died in that crash." Nobody knew that during her 3-year coma, Ella had lived in a parallel world. She had lived with Ethan for 30 years in that parallel world. In that world, Ethan really did cheat with Fiona. They had a kid. When Ella found out, she went berserk. After smashing everything in the hall, Ella slapped Fiona across the face and screamed at Ethan to get rid of them. He refused. So she used every trick to drive Fiona and her son away. But in the end, Ethan fought back. He used his power to crush the Hayes family. They went bankrupt. Her parents killed themselves. And she jumped off a building after being broken beyond repair. Then she opened her eyes and was back in the real world. She thought it was just a nightmare, until she saw Ethan with that look-alike for real. That's when she knew. The universe had given her a second chance. And she wasn't wasting it. If Ethan was trash, she'd throw him out like one. She was Ella Hayes. She'd never be short of options. She pulled out her phone and texted the man who'd buried her in the parallel world. I'm divorcing Ethan in 7 days. Want to grab a marriage certificate when it's done? After dropping Summer off, Ella drove home. The second she parked, his reply came through. See you at the county clerk's office in 7 days. She smiled, pocketed her phone, and walked into the Vance residence, the home she'd shared with Ethan for 5 years. Since she'd woken up, nothing had changed. Their wedding photo from 8 years ago still hangs on the wall. In it, she was beaming. He was handsome and full of life. She and Ethan were childhood sweethearts whose marriage had formed a strategic alliance between their families. There were real feelings between them. They'd been the golden couple of their social circle. Ethan had been wild, but he'd calmed down for Ella. He used to frequent clubs and bars, but after marriage he stopped going. Ella, who'd never lifted a finger in the kitchen, learned to cook for him. Even when her hands blistered, she never complained. If not for the crash, if Ethan hadn't thought she'd never wake up and found a lookalike to fill the void, they might not be here today. Pushing the thoughts aside, Ella decided it was time to clear out this house. Mrs. Gable, take down the wedding photo. Throw it out. Ma'am, that's your favorite picture. Not anymore. Ella pointed around. And those decorations. Get rid of them all. Ma'am, even if Mr. Vance didn't come home much while you were under, you're awake now. You should fight for this marriage. Ella shook her head. Not worth it. The housekeeper had no choice but to obey. Ella was about to head upstairs when Ethan stormed in. He looked furious. It couldn't be good. He grabbed her arm. Ella, you're vicious. I thought 3 years changed you, but you're worse than ever. Did you know Noah's allergic to pollen? You slipped a petal into that envelope with cash, didn't you? Noah's only a month old, and you wanted him dead. Are you insane? What allergy? What petal? I don't know what you're talking about. Ella pulled free, her voice still calm. Ethan, I've always owned my actions. Today was the first time I saw that kid. How would I know about his pollen allergy? And even if I did, why would I plant evidence in an envelope for you to find? That's your MO. You act innocent. Ethan wouldn't believe her. But something pierced Ella's heart anyway. Believe what you want. I didn't do it. She turned to leave. His security personnel blocked her way. Ella froze. What are you doing? Ethan's voice was ice. I remember you're allergic to peanut butter. Her blood went cold. Ella stared at him in disbelief. She'd been allergic to peanuts her whole life. One bite, and she'd break out in hives. Her throat would swell. Sometimes she'd even stop breathing. Ethan knew this better than anyone. Every time they ate out, he'd ask the waiter a dozen times if anything had peanuts. Tit for tat. Fiona said she didn't want to make a big deal, but you did wrong. You should know what an allergic reaction feels like. His security personnel pinned her down. The housekeeper shoved spoonful after spoonful of peanut butter into her mouth. She clamped her jaw shut, but the cold, sticky paste slid down her throat anyway. The reaction hit fast. Red welts bloomed around her mouth. Her throat tightened. Breathing became a struggle. She crumpled to the floor, gasping, clutching Ethan's arm. Take me to the hospital. I can't breathe. Ethan didn't move. He just stared down at her. Now you know how it feels. When you gave Noah that petal, did you think about how he'd suffer? Admit it, and I'll get you help. Ella curled up on the floor in agony and despair. But she still whispered, I told you. I didn't. Unbelievable. I thought you'd changed, Ella. You're worse. He turned to leave. The housekeeper screamed, Sir, she's unconscious. Ella. Before she blacked out, she saw Ethan rush back and scoop her off the floor. He looked scared, desperate, but her heart was already numb. When Ella opened her eyes again, she heard a woman crying beside her. Ethan, you didn't have to do that. Noah's your son, but Mrs. Vance is the woman you love. Hurting her like this must break your heart too. Anyone who hurts my son pays. Even Ella. Even if she's the one I love most. Ella opened her eyes. Her throat still burned. She was parched. She ignored Ethan and looked at the nurse nearby. "Excuse me, could I have some water?" "Ella, you're awake." Ethan took the water from the nurse. She didn't let him feed her. She took the cup, drained it in one gulp. The cold water soothed her raw throat. "Mrs. Vance, are you okay? You were out for a whole day." Ethan was so worried, he didn't even check on Noah when he woke up. "But please, next time, don't hurt Noah. He's just a baby. He won't threaten you." Ella finally looked at Fiona. She'd known this woman existed, but she'd never really studied her. She hadn't looked closely before, but now she realized just how much the woman resembled her. But Fiona had that fragile, wounded vibe that made Ella sick. Guys loved it though. The whole innocent act. Ella set down the cup. "I packed that envelope with cash at the front desk of the Grand Crestwood Hotel. From the front desk to the elevator to the ballroom door, there are cameras everywhere. If you want to know if I slipped a petal in there, check the hotel footage." Fiona's face went pale. Ethan frowned. "Are you done? If it wasn't you, who was it? You think Fiona would frame you? That's her own son." Ella just smiled. "I'm just saying. Why get defensive? I never said Miss Walsh did it." Ethan snapped Ella. "Ethan, Mrs. Vance, please don't fight over me. I shouldn't be here. I'll go take care of Noah." Fiona turned to leave, eyes glistening. Ethan looked torn. He wanted to follow. "Ella, let's not fight. Noah just woke up and Ella waved him off. "Go. When babies are sick, they need their dad." He thought she was being sarcastic, but her eyes were calm. Dead. No anger. And that scared him more than any outburst. "Ella, you've been weird since you woke up. Are you worried that Noah and Fiona mean I don't want you anymore? Don't think that. You'll always be my wife. My only one." She smiled despite the disgust inside. "Ethan, I get it. You're loyal. Miss Walsh has your child, so you should take care of her. I won't complain. And don't worry about me overthinking. I've already figured everything out." She'd figured out how to leave him. "Really?" His voice was low, testing. "Ella, I don't want you acting magnanimous on the surface while hurting Noah behind my back. That'll just make me hate you. I'm tired." She pulled the covers over herself and turned away. As soon as he left, she called the Grand Crestwood Hotel. "I need footage from your cameras." The video came quickly. It proved she never put any petals in the envelope. But Fiona, right under Ethan's nose, plucked a petal from a hallway flower arrangement and slipped it in herself. Ella forwarded the video to Ethan with a caption, "Proof. I didn't do it." She didn't care what he thought anymore. But she'd never admit to something she didn't do. 3 days later, Ella was discharged. When Summer came to pick her up, Ethan wasn't there. He didn't show? That's cold. Remember that time a chef forgot about your peanut allergy and put peanut butter in your salad? Ethan beat the guy up. Ella cut her off. "It's in the past." Yeah. At least you're done with him. To celebrate, I'm taking you to the Azure Lounge tonight to watch male dancers." They went to settle the bill and spotted Fiona at the payment counter. Summer sneered. "I wonder whose money she's using." "Definitely Ethan's. You two aren't even divorced yet. Every cent she spends comes out of your marital assets." A woman nearby overheard. "She's a mistress? Gross. Some girls have no standards." Mistress. Shameless. No wonder her kid's in the hospital. Karma, I guess. If I were the wife, I'd freeze his assets. Not a dime for the mistress. Fiona heard too. She spun around, face red. "Mrs. Vance, do you have to tell everyone I'm a mistress? Aren't you?" Summer laughed. "A mistress who won't own it?" Fiona's eyes welled up. "That's so cruel." "Oh, she's crying. What a little actress." Summer, enough. Ella held her friend back, not even glancing at Fiona. "Drop me off at home to change. Then we're going to the Azure Lounge for drinks." At the Azure Lounge, Ella sank into the couch, watching the dancers on stage. A hollow ache crept into her chest. She remembered her bachelorette party. She'd been drunk and some guy tried to hit on her. She was terrified until Ethan appeared and kicked him across the floor. "Touch my wife? You're dead. Listen up, everyone. This woman, Ella Hayes, is my wife. Anyone who messes with her answers to me. Under the flickering lights, she'd stared up at him and sworn to love him forever. Now, just 3 years later. Hey, Ella. What are you brooding about? Drink. If you still love him, do something about it. He's still into you. He's just confused by that little vixen. Tonight, wear a mini dress, cover yourself in chocolate sauce, and he won't stand a chance. Cover myself in chocolate sauce? Ella laughed. Maybe for someone else. What? Someone didn't catch it. Are you planning to cheat? All right, everyone. Ella raised her glass. I have an announcement. I'm divorcing Ethan Vance in 3 days. And I'm marrying someone else. When we get our license, you're all coming to celebrate. The whole booth went quiet. Wait, really? You're actually divorcing him? Who's the new guy? You've been hiding him from us. He's... Ella started to say it, but a bunny girl set down 2 cases of beer. Your order. The voice was familiar. Summer grabbed her arm. Well, look who's slinging drinks at the Azure Lounge. What? Ethan doesn't pay you enough. The mistress who wrecked Ella's marriage? The other girls stood up. She's just average. Ethan must be blind. Fiona ignored them, looking only at Ella. I heard if I drink with you ladies, I get 10 grand. Is that right? Ella said nothing. One of her friends had tipped the male dancers 10 grand earlier. Summer smirked, slapped a stack of cash on the table. Yeah, that's the deal. Finish these bottles and the money's yours. Fine. I'll drink. Fiona started chugging, glass after glass. She's really going for it. For that money. Summer rolled her eyes. Before she could say more, Fiona coughed up blood. Pfft. Blood splattered across Ella's dress. She frowned, about to ask if she was okay, when Ethan burst in from outside. Fiona, what happened? Don't scare me like that. He cradled her, eyes scanning the empty bottles. You made her drink. Ella, Fiona has a history of stomach ulcers. She can't drink. Come on, Fiona, I'm taking you to Crestwood General Hospital. But Fiona fought him. She reached for Summer, shaking. You promised. You'd give me the money if I finished. Summer froze. She couldn't believe the woman was still thinking about cash. Mrs. Vance, I may be a mistress, but I don't take Ethan's money. See? I earned this myself. It's not coming out of your marital assets. Enough, Fiona. Ethan scooped her up. He shot Summer a glare. Ella, you and your friends are something else. He left. The woman in his arms smirked at Ella over his shoulder. Summer hurried to apologize. I'm so sorry, Ella. Ethan's going to blame you. This is my fault. Summer, it's not your fault. Ella forced a smile, but unease curled in her stomach. That look Ethan gave her before leaving, it scared her. The next 2 days, Ethan didn't come home. The day before the divorce was finalized, everything fell apart. She got a call from Summer's parents. Ella, Summer's been gone for 2 days. She hasn't come home. Ella's skin crawled. She saw Ethan's face in her mind. Cold. Empty. She floored the gas and sped to Crestwood General Hospital. When she got there, Ethan was tending to Fiona. She'd had a relapse, couldn't eat solid food. So he was feeding her broth. Carefully. Gently. That tenderness stabbed through Ella. Ethan. She barged in. Where's Summer? He didn't even turn around. Why are you doing this to her? She's my best friend. She hadn't cried when she found out Ethan cheated. Hadn't cried when she learned he'd fathered another woman's child. But today, she cried. Summer had been with her since childhood. She was the most important person in Ella's life. Ella couldn't let anything happen to her. Ethan kept feeding Fiona, his voice cold. She called Fiona a mistress. Said Fiona was spending my money. Made her go to the bar and work just to prove she wasn't. And then she triggered Fiona's relapse. Of course I had to teach her a lesson. Ella bit her lip, voice trembling. If Summer did anything wrong, it was because of me. Please. For my sake, let her go. Please. She lowered her head, her voice breaking. I'll apologize for her. Please, Miss Walsh, let Summer go. I'm so sorry. Fiona pretended to plead. Ethan, maybe you should let Miss Knight go. I'm sure she didn't mean it. Ethan finally looked at Ella. His eyes narrowed. Ella, for your sake, I'll let her off this time. But you need to control your best friend. If there's a next time, I'll kill her. He pulled a key from his pocket and tossed it at her. Westbrook Kennels. Go find her. Kennels? He'd put Summer in kennels? Summer was terrified of dogs. Ella scrambled off the floor and ran out of the hospital without looking back. Fiona pouted. Ethan, I guess Mrs. Vance still comes first to you. Otherwise, her friend would never have dared. I know. He stroked her hair. I'll get justice for you. By the time Ella gets to the kennels, it won't be so easy to save her. Fiona understood. Ethan was going to punish Ella too. She feigned concern. Won't Mrs. Vance be upset? Ethan shrugged. Want me to call them off? She giggled and punched his chest. You're terrible. He laughed, but it didn't reach his eyes. He didn't want to punish Ella. But he couldn't let Fiona get hurt again. If Ella got hurt, he'd make it up to her later. He simply wanted her to understand that even she had crossed a line this time. Westbrook Kennels. When Ella arrived, Summer was curled up in a cage, barely breathing. 3 massive wolf dogs prowled outside, fixated on her. They hadn't eaten in days. Drool dripped from their bared teeth as they paced in agitation. Summer had been there for 2 days. No food, no water, trapped in constant terror. Summer. Ella sobbed and rushed forward. The dogs immediately locked onto her. She knew she couldn't just charge in. It was suicide. Summer, hold on. I'll buy some meat to lure them away. Stay with me. Summer reached for her with the last of her strength. Don't go. Ella. I'm dying. You're not. Summer, I won't let you die. Ella grabbed a stick from the ground and charged at the dogs with gritted teeth. They lunged. She swung wildly, fighting them off. Paws clawed her arms and legs. Deep gashes. Agony burned through her. She found the cage door, jammed the key in, and yanked it open. Summer, let's move. She dragged Summer out and they ran for the gate. But somehow, the gate was locked from the outside. Ella rattled it, screaming. Open it. Who's out there? Ethan. Open it. Please. A guard's cold voice came through. Sorry, ma'am. Mr. Vance's orders. You'll have to endure it. Ethan's orders. Her grip on the stick tightened. Hatred flared in her chest. She never imagined he could be this cruel. Behind them, the 3 dogs lunged. Ella swung her stick to block them, but Summer shoved her aside with the last of her strength. The lead dog sank its teeth into Summer's left arm. Arg! Summer's arm tore off. Blood sprayed everywhere. She convulsed and collapsed. Ella's face went pale. Summer. She cradled her friend, sobbing. Why would you do that? Summer. The dogs went for the severed limb. Ella lunged, snapped the stick in half, and wrestled it before them. Just when she thought it was over, the kennel door swung open. She dragged Summer out. Summer, stay with me. We're going to Crestwood General Hospital. You're going to be okay. 9 hours of surgery. Summer lived. But her arm couldn't be reattached. Ella sat in the hallway outside the OR, motionless. At dawn, her phone buzzed 4 times. First text, Attorney Miller confirmed the divorce decree was finalized. Second text, from him. I'm at the county clerk's office. Third, from Ethan. Ella, come home early tonight. I have a surprise for you. Fourth, an unknown number. Mrs. Vance, Ethan never even opened the video you sent. Wanna guess why? Because he trusts me, not you. And I heard your friend lost an arm. Such a shame. Ella's grip on the phone tightened until her knuckles went white. She didn't reply to any of them. She stood up and left Crestwood General Hospital. At the county clerk's office, she took the divorce decree from Attorney Miller, then walked inside with him. They got the marriage certificate. From start to finish, Ella's face was blank. The man beside her smiled. You don't look too thrilled about marrying me. Regret it? In the morning light, Ella looked up at him and said, word by word, Oliver Grant. Help me get revenge. I want Ethan Vance and Fiona Walsh to pay in blood. After Noah's condition stabilized, Ethan left the hospital with Fiona. It was Fiona's birthday, so he threw her a party at the Azure Lounge. At the party, he wrapped an arm around her waist and announced to the whole booth, remember this. Fiona is my woman. Nobody messes with her. Ethan, we wouldn't dare. Seriously. Happy birthday, Fiona. Order whatever you want. It's on me. But there are people who don't respect that. Someone nodded toward another booth. A bunch of gorgeous heiresses from the old money families. One of them noticed right away that Ella wasn't there. Ethan, I heard you went after her best friend to get back at her? Summer? That's cold. Punishing her friend is worse than punishing her directly. Enough. Let's not talk about her tonight. Ethan cut them off and sat back, sipping his whiskey. Fiona was in his arms, but his eyes drifted to the other booth. Ella wasn't there. Neither was Summer. She'd changed so much after waking up. Before the crash, whenever Ethan worked late and got home, there was always a light on in the living room. If he was hungry, she'd make him noodles, no matter how late, with a fried egg on top. She'd get up half an hour early every morning just to brew his coffee. When he woke up, his clothes were always laid out, pressed shirt, matching tie. But after she woke up, she stopped caring. No waiting up. No cooking. No coffee. No clothes. When he'd come home with Fiona in his bed, Ella had barely blinked. That bugged him. He demanded to know what her deal was, what she was hiding. And she'd just smiled. I'm not hiding anything. I was in a coma for 3 years. That's a long time for a man. So I don't blame you for finding a lookalike. She gave him his freedom. He should be happy. But he wasn't. Ethan, what are you thinking about? Fiona noticed his distraction and her smile flickered. Nothing. Here comes the cake. Ethan set down his glass. They lit the candles. Fiona closed her eyes to make a wish as everyone clapped and cheered. What did you wish for, Fiona? Idiot. Obviously, she wishes she'll be with Ethan forever. She's already with him. What's the point of wishing? The commotion was too loud. Across the room, Ella's friends stood up and walked over. Who do we have here? The mistress who wrecked Ella's marriage. You're going all out for a mistress, Ethan. Have some standards. She's not even half the woman Ella is. What do you see in her? What did you say? Ethan grabbed one of them by the arm. His eyes were frozen. Did Ella put you up to this? Apologize to Fiona. Now. Like hell I will. Alina Park yanked her arm free with disgust. Don't touch me. You make me sick. Someone pulled her back. Alina, stop. You don't want to end up like Summer. I'm not afraid of him. He ruined Summer. Ethan, one day you'll get what's coming. Alina was shaking with fury. She raised her hand to slap him. Fiona threw herself between them, taking the hit across her cheek. Fiona. Ethan's eyes went dark. He glared at Alina. How dare you? Are you trying to die? What, you want to lock me in the kennels too? Alina stood her ground. Ethan, everyone else might be scared of you. I'm not. You hurt my 2 best friends. I will make you pay. Mississippi Park, you keep saying Ethan hurt someone. How exactly? It was Miss Knight who came after me first. Ethan just stood up for me and locked her in the kennels for a few days. Now you want to pretend she's a victim. Fiona laughed coldly. I see. You rich girls can't handle being treated like ordinary people for 2 days. Shut up, you bitch. Alina raised her hand again. Ethan caught it. His voice dropped to a warning. Alina. For Ella's sake, I'm letting this slide. Do it again and I won't be nice. Scumbag. Alina sneered. Ethan, if Summer hadn't been there, Ella would have been the one who lost an arm that day. All for this woman. You threw away 10 years with Ella Hayes. Was it worth it? What arm? What are you talking about? Ethan frowned. Still playing dumb? Alina shook her head. You're hopeless. The group turned to leave. Ethan blocked them. Don't move. Explain. Who lost an arm? Fiona knew this couldn't go on anymore and everything would come out. Ethan, forget them. It's my birthday. I haven't even cut the cake. He ignored her. His eyes were locked on Alina. Alina, you know what I can do. I asked you a question. Who lost an arm? Summer. Summer lost her arm. She lost it, saving Ella. Those damn dogs at the kennels tore it right off. Alina couldn't hold it in anymore. She screamed at Ethan through her tears. Ethan, you're heartless. You gave Ella the key and then locked the gate behind her. She had to fight 3 wolf dogs with Summer. If Summer hadn't been there, it would have been Ella. 10 years of marriage. How could you? What? No. Ethan stood frozen. He looked lost. That's impossible. I gave orders to let Ella leave as soon as she opened the cage. I never locked the gate. The guards said it was your order. Alina left. Ethan didn't move. Fiona watched his face darken and her heart raced. She hadn't expected him to find out so fast. If he found out she was behind it. Check it out. Now. The others tried to break the tension. Ethan, come on. It's Fiona's birthday. Cake's still waiting. Summer's arm got bitten off? That can't be real. Wouldn't we have heard about it? And even if it did happen, they could reattach it. Those women are probably lying to ruin your birthday. Fiona kept quiet. She knew better than to say anything. Ethan sat back down. But he didn't touch the cake. He just drank. He pulled out his phone and scrolled to his chat with Ella. It had been half a month since they last texted. And it was him who reached out last, with no reply. Maybe Alina was lying. If it were true, Ella would have come for him by now. But why did the empty chat make his chest so heavy? He typed and deleted. Typed and deleted. Where are you? No. Is it true Summer lost her arm? No. He started another message when Fiona slid a slice of cake in front of him. Ethan, don't stress. Have some cake. Sorry. I'm not in the mood. He downed his whiskey, tossed his black credit card on the table, and stood. I have something to do. Enjoy the party. I'll send a car to take you home. She grabbed his arm. Please don't go. It's my birthday. You promised. I'm sorry. He pulled free and rushed out, determined to get back to the Vance residence. There was too much on his mind. He needed to talk to Ella in person. He sent her a text, wait for me at home. We need to talk. It bounced back with a red exclamation point. She'd deleted him. He tried to re-add her. She'd blocked him. Blocked me? Ethan laughed bitterly. Good one, Ella. Blocking me. Fine. See if I ever add you back. He called her number. Straight to voicemail. She blocked my number too. He was about to lose it when someone gasped. Oh my God. Check social media. Ella's married. Married? I thought she was Ethan's wife. Ethan, when did you get divorced? We had no idea. It was a surprise for Fiona, right? Ethan turned to them. Who did she marry? Look at Ella's social media. She posted it herself. Someone shoved their phone in Ethan's face. The rest of my life begins now. And look at the photo. It's a marriage certificate. It's got to be fake. Trying to get a reaction out of him. She's just jealous he's spending the night with Fiona. Ethan stared at the post. Then he grabbed the phone and smashed it on the floor. Everyone around him flinched. His friend stared at the pieces of his phone in disbelief. That was mine. Ethan. Fiona touched his arm carefully. When did you get the divorce decree? I didn't even know. Were you really planning it as a surprise for me? Ethan spun to face her. His face was dark enough to drip. I'd like to know too. When did he sign a divorce decree? He had never even considered divorcing Ella. What divorce decree? Without another word, he strode out of the bar. Fiona followed, but he was already gone. She stamped her foot in anger. Ella Hayes, you better have actually divorced him. If not, I'll make you pay. The driver sped Ethan back to the Vance residence. He searched the house. Ella's things were gone. Her slippers. Her favorite pillows. Her mug. Even the coffee set she loved. Where's all her stuff? A housekeeper came quickly. Sir, Mrs. Vance threw some things out. The rest she took somewhere. Ethan's voice cracked. When did it start? After she got out of the hospital. She started with small things. Then the jewelry you gave her. Did she throw those away too? No, sir. She donated them. And then she started getting rid of her favorite things. Eventually, she stopped coming home much. Ethan collapsed onto the empty couch. When was the last time she was here? About 2 weeks ago. You weren't around much, sir, so you probably didn't notice. Yeah, he hadn't been around. After Ella woke up, he should have spent more time with her. But Fiona had trouble sleeping. Noah cried a lot. Every time he tried to leave, they begged him to stay. Rubbing his temples, he reached for his phone to call Attorney Miller. Before he could dial, the housekeeper announced, "Sir, Attorney Miller is here." The man walked in and placed a divorce decree on the table in front of Ethan. "Mr. Vance, Miss Hayes instructed me to deliver your divorce decree." Ethan didn't touch it. He just looked up. The cold fury in his eyes made Miller's hands shake. "If that's all, I'll be going." "Where did this come from? You helped Ella forge a divorce decree? How many lives do you have?" Ethan grabbed the paper and tore it in two. Miller was shaking. "Mr. Vance, I'd never dare lie to you. The divorce is legal." Miss Hayes filed papers at the county clerk's office. "You can check. Or just ask Miss Hayes herself." Ethan laughed. "I never signed." He stopped. A memory flashed. A rainy night. Thunder crashing. Fiona called, said Noah was scared of the lightning and crying. He'd gotten up in the middle of the night to leave. And Ella had stopped him to sign something. It was dark. He was in a hurry. He hadn't read it. That was the divorce decree? She wanted a divorce right after waking up? Why? Because he'd cheated? Because he'd found someone during her coma? When she found out, she said it was fine. If it was fine, why did she secretly divorce him? Why did she lie? Rage exploded. He grabbed Miller's collar. "Where is she now?" "I don't know, Mr. Vance." "Please calm down. I saw her at the county clerk's office a few mornings ago and haven't seen her since." Miller stammered. "She was probably busy with her wedding." "Her wedding? You mean she went and married someone else as soon as the divorce was final?" "Yes." Miller nodded. "Mr. Vance, didn't you know?" "How could he know? He didn't even know she was divorcing him. How would he know she was marrying someone else?" Just as he was about to lose his mind, Assistant Leo showed up. "Mr. Vance, the Westbrook Kennels situation is cleared up." "Tell me." Ethan released Miller. The lawyer fled. Leo hesitated. "It was Miss Walsh." "Fiona?" Ethan's fists clenched. "How could?" "Miss Walsh paid 2 security guards $10,000 each. They locked the kennel gate right when Mrs. Vance and Miss Knight thought they were safe. But I think Miss Walsh only meant to scare them. She didn't expect Miss Knight to lose an arm protecting Mrs. Vance." When Leo finished, Ethan was ashen. "Summer really lost an arm?" "Yes." Mrs. Vance took her to Crestwood General Hospital. 9 hours of surgery saved her life, but the arm couldn't be reattached. "Bring Fiona here." "She's already outside," Leo said. "She's been waiting." "She wouldn't come in. She's holding a piece of cake for you." Fiona had paced outside for a long time. In 3 years, Ethan had never once brought her inside. This was his home with Ella. No one else was allowed in, including her. But now Ella was gone. And it was her birthday. Maybe tonight he'd bend the rules. "Miss Walsh, Mr. Vance will see you now." Leo opened the door. Fiona walked in, beaming. But Ethan's face was stone. He didn't come to her. The heavy silence made her uneasy. "Ethan, I was sad you didn't eat my cake. So I saved you a slice." She glanced at the floor. Torn paper. A divorce decree? So they really were divorced. Then why was it ripped? And if they were divorced, would he marry her? Her mind was a mess. Locking the gate. "Was that your idea?" Fiona dropped the cake. It hit the floor with a splat. She hadn't expected him to find out so fast. Seeing her panic, Ethan knew. This woman had seemed so innocent. She'd even pleaded for Summer. But behind his back, she'd bribed his own men. "Why? Why did you do it?" "I didn't mean." Fiona broke down sobbing. "I wasn't thinking clearly. Ethan, I swear I never wanted Miss Knight or Mrs. Vance to get hurt. I just wanted to scare them. You're coming to Crestwood General Hospital." Ethan stood. He didn't look at her. "You're going to apologize to Summer." "Apologize? No, I can't. They'll kill me." She dropped to her knees, clinging to his legs. "What if they call the police?" "I'll go to prison, Ethan. Noah is so little. He needs his mother." Ethan hesitated. Noah was small, but Summer was Ella's best friend. If Summer didn't forgive her, Ella never would. "Ethan, please. I'll never do it again. For Noah's sake, don't take me there." Just then, the housekeeper walked in with 2 police officers. "Which one of you is Ethan Vance and which is Fiona Walsh?" I'm Ethan Vance. He walked over, calm. What's this about? We have a report that you and Miss Walsh kidnapped and assaulted Summer Knight. Specifically, you set dogs on her and cost her an arm. Please come with us. No. Fiona collapsed. Who called? It was Summer, wasn't it? I'll go to the hospital. I can explain. This wasn't my fault. Ethan was the one who locked her in the kennels. I had nothing to do with it. Ethan smiled at her pathetic attempt to save herself. 3 years. And this was who she really was. Mr. Vance. Please come with us. Ethan didn't fight it. I'll come. Who made the report? Miss Hayes. Your ex-wife. The next day, Hayes estate. Ella was watching TV when her mother Victoria's stare became too obvious. She muted the show and looked at her. Mom, what is it? I heard you had Ethan arrested. And that social media post, is it real? You really divorced him and married Oliver Grant. Victoria had been shaken when she saw the post. Ella and Ethan had been married so long. This was all so sudden. I made the report. Not that it mattered. He's too powerful to keep behind bars. Ella's eyes flickered with cold fury. Not sending him and Fiona to prison for what they did to Summer is already being generous. Summer really lost her arm? Ethan would never, Victoria sighed. I've known him since he was a boy. You two were married. Ella cut her off. Mom, I divorced him. My husband now is Oliver Grant. He'll be here soon. Don't say the wrong thing. I still don't understand. Even if you left Ethan, why would you marry Oliver? You barely know him. When did you even develop feelings? Ella went quiet. Her mother didn't know. Without the 3 years she'd spent in the parallel world, Ella would never have known that Oliver had always loved her from afar. When the Hayes family went bankrupt, he'd offered to marry her. She refused. Back then, she still believed Ethan would come around. Even so, Oliver never pushed. He just watched over her quietly, until she jumped. And while her spirit drifted, the only person who came to collect her body was Oliver. That's when she realized only Oliver truly loved her. This time, she wouldn't let him go. Ma'am, Mr. Grant is here. Ella looked up. There he was, standing in the doorway. Tall, graceful, handsome. Behind him, security carried piles of gifts. Mr. Grant, please come in. Victoria stood, flustered. Oliver smiled. Mrs. Hayes, please don't stand on ceremony. Sit. I wasn't sure what you'd like, so I bought a bit of everything. Nothing much. Please accept. Mom? He said it so naturally Victoria did a double take. Ella walked over and took his arm. He calls you Mom now. We're married. You call this nothing? She gestured. Gold bullion. Antique emerald bracelets. A full set of emerald jewelry. Premium ginseng. Deer antler velvet. Rare tonics. Every item was priceless. Ella knew Oliver was wealthy from her parallel life. But this was another level. He spared no expense. It's just a gesture. Sentiment can't be priced. Please sit down. Victoria ushered them in. They began discussing wedding plans. It was Ella's second marriage. She wanted something small and low-key, maybe a destination wedding to bond. But Oliver refused. He insisted on a grand ceremony. 100 million in the prenuptial arrangement. For properties and 4 cars. Heirloom jewelry and diamond pieces. Is there anything else, Mrs. Hayes? 100 million? Victoria waved her hands. That's way too much. It's my gift. Whatever you think. Seeing he was serious, Ella gave in. She let him have his way. After visiting her mother, Ella went to Crestwood General Hospital to see Summer. Oliver offered to drive her. At the hospital entrance, they ran into Ethan. He'd just been released from the police station. He'd spent the night there and made bail. Fiona, though, was likely looking at real prison time. In the dim hallway, Ethan spotted Ella holding another man's arm. The image burned. He strode over and yanked her away from Oliver. Ella Hayes, do you know what you're doing? In broad daylight, you're clinging to another man. Another man? Oliver paled. He pulled Ella back into his arms. Mr. Vance, surely you know you're divorced from Ella. She's my wife now. A wife holding her husband's arm is perfectly normal. Ethan glared. Shut up. I'm talking to Ella. Leo pulled his sleeve. Mr. Vance, that's Mr. Grant. We can't afford to. Mr. Grant? I don't care. Ethan turned to Ella. Ella, stop this. Come home with me. I tore the divorce decree. I never wanted to divorce you. It doesn't count. We'll go back to the county clerk's office tomorrow and get the marriage certificate again. You're not worried about your little sweetheart? Ella glanced past him. Miss Walsh didn't come with you? Still in lockup? Well, she deserves it. She destroyed someone's life. With all that evidence against her, she's looking at 3 to 5 years. Are you blaming me? Ethan protested. I didn't know she went behind my back. If I had, I'd have stopped her. You're my wife. I would never have hurt you. I only put Summer in the kennel to scare her. I never wanted her to lose an arm. You didn't want it? Ella laughed. Does that make it right? If it weren't for you, Summer would be fine. If it weren't for you, Fiona wouldn't have come after us. This is all your fault. And now you're trying to walk away from it? Dream on. But I was found innocent. The law says you're innocent. But you're still guilty. Ella stared him down. Ethan. Summer lost an arm. And I'm coming for you. She walked into Summer's room. Ethan tried to follow, but Oliver's security stopped him. Mr. Vance, Mr. Grant says you're not welcome. Please leave. What right does he have? Ethan lunged. His guards stepped forward. They were seconds from a brawl when Leo pulled him back. Mr. Vance, let's go. Miss Knight probably doesn't want to see you anyway. Ethan looked at the closed door. Then he backed away. Fine. Let's go. He left, but put his gifts outside the door. Oliver's security brought them in. Ella told them to throw them in the trash. His things made her sick. Ella, you don't have to come every day. I'm doing better. Summer's voice was hollow. She lay in bed, barely moving. Her family didn't know she'd lost her arm saving Ella. Every time they said, "What a good friend," Ella felt the words cut deeper. Seeing Summer's empty sleeve, she broke down. I'm sorry, Summer. If I hadn't. Stop. Summer smiled weakly. I heard Fiona's going to prison. Good. She got what she deserved. For both of us. 5 years. That's nothing. Ella's eyes turned dark. Ethan's next. Oliver's moving on his company. Summer, I will make this right. They'll pay. Don't blame yourself. I'm left-handed anyway. At least I still have that. Then why won't you get out of bed? Too many kids in the hospital. I don't want to scare them. Ella broke down completely. Summer, I wish it had been me. I'll never forgive myself. She held her best friend, sobbing. Summer patted her back with her remaining hand. It's okay, Ella. I don't blame you. About your wedding. I won't be able to make it. Be happy. Those words shattered Ella. She left the hospital in tears. Oliver. When are you starting? Was going to wait until after the wedding. But I can start today. Start now. I can't wait. Ella clenched her fists. Summer lost her arm. My family went bankrupt. My parents died. I won't let him get away with it. Oliver frowned. You keep talking about things that never happened. You're not going to tell me you're from another world, are you? Ella smiled. What if I am? Would you still want me? We already signed the certificate. Do I look like I regret it? He pulled her close. Whatever happened, I'm with you. Ethan's downfall came fast. He was staring at photos of Ella on his phone when Leo burst in. Mr. Vance, someone's attacking the company. Who? Oliver Grant. Leo looked sick. But it's Mrs. Vance's doing. I'm sure of it. Ethan looked at the message on his phone. A friend sent him screenshots. Ella's wedding invitations were already out. In 3 days, they'd marry at Crestwood Cathedral. He didn't expect her to go this far. He'd apologized. Wasn't that enough? Ethan drove to Hayes Estate, hoping to see her. A heavy rain started. He stood in it without an umbrella. His shadow was long and lonely in the light. The housekeeper came several times. Ella didn't answer. Finally, Victoria caved. Maybe you should go talk to him. Clear things up. If he shows up at your wedding causing trouble, it's not good for you or Oliver. Ella thought for a long time. Then she let the housekeeper bring him in. He was soaked. The moment he stepped inside, water pooled on the floor. Ella made a face. Bring a mop. She tossed him a towel but didn't offer to let him shower or change. I think I have some clothes here. Could I? Threw them out. Ella didn't let him finish. I'm getting married. It's not appropriate for a stranger to shower in my house. Ethan stood there. She used to hover over him if he got a little wet. Now she just looked disgusted. I don't know what I did to make you hate me. I told you summer was an accident. Why are you being so cruel? Ethan, you're married. You had a child with another woman. You hurt me for her over and over. And now you're asking me what you did wrong? Summer was an accident, yes. But you created the situation. I will never forgive you. So you sent Oliver after me. You hate me that much. Because you did the same to me. When? He didn't understand. When she woke up, Ella had thought it was just a nightmare. But then she saw Ethan with Fiona. Fiona had a son named Noah. Everything matched the dream. She had no choice but to believe what happened in the parallel world was real. That's why she divorced him. Married Oliver. Tried to change the future. The future did change. Her parents were safe. She'd married Oliver. But Summer lost an arm. And that was Ethan's fault. She'd never forgive him. Don't worry about the details. Just know that Vance Group will be dead in 3 days. Show him out. Ella, please. If you're upset about Fiona, I'll cut her off. Forever. What about your son? If you want, I can abandon him too. Ella almost wavered. But that answer killed any sympathy. His own child. He'd throw him away. How could she trust him with her heart? Get out. Don't come back. In the following days, Vance Group collapsed. Oliver used every connection to steal Ethan's talent, cut his funding, and take his best projects. In just 3 days, Ethan was overwhelmed. He couldn't stop it. His father's legacy was crumbling. He threw all his savings into trying to save it. But Oliver's resources dwarfed his. There was no fighting it. On the 4th morning, the offices were empty. Only Leo was still there. Mr. Vance, I can't believe Mrs. Vance went this far. She's marrying Mr. Grant today. The whole city is buzzing. I don't get it. She was so in love with you. Now she's like a stranger. Ethan looked up. It's my fault. I cheated on her while she was in a coma. She took that crash for me. She saved my life. And I repaid her by sleeping with another woman. I said I'd end it, but she seemed to not care, so I kept going. I never realized she was planning to leave me. Ella could never tolerate betrayal. I was an idiot. Leo, you should go. The company's gone. You don't have to stay. Leo was worried. What about you? Should I take you home? I have somewhere to be. Leo nodded. I understand. One more thing. The police station called. Miss Walsh is causing a scene. She's demanding to see you and Noah. Also, Leo hesitated. She says Noah isn't yours. I know. Ethan's calm surprised Leo. You already knew? After she was arrested, I suspected. I had a DNA test done. He's not mine. That's why when Ella asked what would happen to the boy, his first answer was to send him away. Not because he was cold, but because the child was proof of Fiona's betrayal. He couldn't keep him. At Crestwood Cathedral, a grand wedding was underway. Ella walked down the aisle in white, toward the man at the altar. Oliver looked striking in his white suit. His smile was wider than she'd ever seen. She'd fallen for him for real over time. Marrying him was the best thing she'd ever done. When she reached him, the crowd cheered. Oliver took her hand gently. Ella, I finally have you. Me too. Ella smiled. I've been waiting for this too. He raised an eyebrow. You're not going to mention that parallel world again, are you? I know you don't believe me. I do. You're my wife. I'll believe anything you say. Ella had started to share things from another life. At first, he didn't buy it. But little by little, he came to believe her completely. Oliver Grant, do you take Ella Hayes to be your wife? To cherish and love her until the end of time? I do. Ella Hayes, do you? Move. Let me through. I need to see Ella. The priest stopped. The crowd turned. Ella looked back. Ethan was fighting the guards at the door. He was a wreck, begging her not to marry Oliver. Ella, don't do this. Come back to me. I know I messed up. I'll never hurt you again. Please don't marry him. I'm begging you. Company's gone. My son is gone. I can't lose you too. Ella, give me one more chance. She felt nothing. She looked at the priest and said calmly, please continue. Ella Hayes, do you take Oliver Grant to be your husband? Ella, no, don't do this. I love you. I've always loved you. Ethan was screaming outside the cathedral door, as if volume alone could stop the wedding. But Ella didn't hear him anymore. She looked at the priest and said clearly, I do. Her voice was steady, strong. Outside, Ethan collapsed to his knees. The tears came. Why? Why would she marry him? Then the groom may kiss the bride. Oliver leaned in. His lips met hers. The crowd roared. They held each other in the middle of it all. Ethan went insane. He tried to break through. Ella, Mr. Vance, leave or we'll have to use force. The guards tried to pull him away. He wouldn't budge. They were forced to get rough. Fists flew as Ethan hit the ground. Inside, Ella was laughing, clutching Oliver's arm, accepting congratulations. Ella, let me see her. Don't marry him. I love you, Ella. Please. The guards kept beating him. His face was a mess. A guest whispered, that's the bride's ex-husband. Guess he didn't take it well. Looks terrible. Serves him right. His wife risked her life for him, and he got another woman pregnant while she was in a coma. No wonder she left him. So Oliver Grant's new wife is a divorcee? And his family approved? How? And she's marrying a man this important. Didn't you hear? Oliver went through 3 days of seclusion punishment in his family just to get permission to marry Ella Hayes. Otherwise, someone like her would never marry the heir. Ella heard the murmurs. Her smile faltered. She looked at Oliver. So his family didn't approve. She texted him asking him to marry her, and he'd shown up. Took her straight to the county clerk's office. Didn't even consult his parents. She assumed his family was on board. Instead, he'd endured 3 days of punishment for her. Her heart ached with guilt and love. She squeezed his hand. Oliver, are you tired? What did you call me? He froze. His eyes lit up. I said, are you tired, my husband? Did you not like it? She smiled. I love it. He was blushing. I just didn't think you'd say it so soon. She decided to tease him. What about you? What do you call me? He looked at her. Ella, I don't like that. Call me wife. Or baby. Wife. Hubby. They smiled at each other, laughing. Outside, Ethan was barely conscious. The guards dragged him off the cathedral grounds and dumped him on the grass. As they lifted him, he caught one last glimpse of Ella. She was laughing. Really laughing. The kind of smile he hadn't seen since before her coma. And finally, he let go. If marrying Oliver made her happy, then he had to let her go. He had no one to blame but himself. After that day, Ella never saw him again. The Vance family name vanished from Crestwood. People mentioned them with nothing but contempt. Ethan had disappeared. Oliver offered to track him. She said no. Don't bother. He's not part of my life anymore. And Fiona? Oliver held her. I heard she couldn't take the prison bullying and took her own life. Really? Ella didn't react. Doesn't matter. Then what matters? Summer walked up, smiling. You. Ella's face flickered with pain every time she saw Summer. Even though Oliver had compensated Summer and her family, Ella felt it was never enough. What brings you here? I came with invitations. Summer handed over a red envelope. You've always wanted me to be happy. Now I've found my own happiness. For real. Ella was overjoyed. She spun Summer around. Oliver stepped in. Careful, don't lift her. You're pregnant. Pregnant. Summer gasped. Ella, let me be the godmother. Only you. No one else deserves it. They embraced, both crying. That was the best ending for both of them. As for Ethan, he'd gone to a remote region to teach. As he walked the dirt roads and looked at the blue sky, he thought of Ella. Wondered how she was doing. If she had kids yet. He smiled. Then the smile turned to tears.
This is Listening Novel. We appreciate you spending your time with us. If you enjoyed today's story, please like and subscribe for more stories and stay tuned for what's next.